When I was first researching the do-it-yourself bead locks, there seemed to be a lot of discussion about and concern about the fact that the outer ring will cone as you tighten the bolts down. So I got to thinking and came up with what I consider a solution. Here's you can see just how much the residual coning is on this particular wheel. It's a 15-inch wheel, quarter-inch steel plate. And so my idea was to build a ring that would serve as a stopgap on the outer edge, or in this case, the inner edge of the outer ring, so that it would the bolt would essentially be supported between two support items. Now I had built this out of 1/8-inch steel stock. I did one hoop with a 1/2 inch by an 1/8 inch and one with 3/4 by an 1/8 inch. And the reason that I chose the 3/4, of course, is because that's about the thickness of the tire bead. You can see I have taken one hoop, the 1/2 inch hoop, and fitted it inside the ring so that 1/4 inch is remaining sticking up. Then I put the 3/4 inch hoop on the outside of the ring. This gives me essentially to use to keep the ring that is going to be the support ring from slipping through the hole. Now what I've done is I made sure and offset the closing gaps in the hoops. Take some vice grip pliers and make sure that the hoops are thoroughly together, that there's no gaps. And then what I'll do is tack weld the pieces together in several places. Just a quick tack. Not trying to weld it all in place. And what I'll do is as I do each tack, I'll move the vice grips around in order to clamp it securely, make sure that I get a good tight fit all the way around. Okay, so once we get our final tacks in, we can remove the clamps, get rid of take the welding device and put it off to the side, and then we can take the ring and pull it out of the tire and go ahead and do some finish welding. They're not going to weld it solid. Basically, I'm just going to put a 1.5 inch, an 1.5 or 2 inch bead about 8 places because the ring really doesn't see any load. All it's there for is a guide to make sure that the ring fits inside, or that the clamping ring is securely fitted on the inner plate. So now we're going to go out and finish welding it and come back and after some paint to make it pretty. See, it just snaps right in to the inner ring. Very nice tight fit. And you can see here some of the welds. They're just short welds. As I said, it's not under any kind of load. Now before I put the top ring back on, what I do is just take some rubber cement on the clean bead, just put a little layer of rubber cement. This is the same stuff that tire people use to put patches, so it's a very good sealant just to make sure that there's a nice seal between the plate and the bead. I also put some rubber cement in between the inner part of the bead and the inner ring. Now we just put the outer ring back on. It's Still coned, but as you'll see, bolts are all installed and torqued down uh, to the proper torque, which is 18 foot-pounds. Then the ring will be flat, and the um, washers, you'll notice that there's full contact of the washer on the surface of the plate. Now these are strictly off-road uh, devices here. They're not, so I'm not too concerned. I won't be doing much faster than maybe 10 or 15 miles an hour, so I'm not really concerned too much about absolute centering of the tire on the wheel. It won't make any difference at low pressure anyway. So once again, I get a few bolts in and then load it up, put them all in, and torque them all down. Now, if you saw my installation on the Nadine, the Honda-powered buggy, you know that I welded nuts inside the inner ring, so I don't have nut fiber locks on the inside. There you can see that there's the washers are flat. So that's mine. That's how I did it. You too can do it. Works great.